The boardroom was completely packed. There was only one other woman and 23 men. I had sweat running down my back. My shirt was starting to stick to me. This was a day I was going to have to speak up. And as a result, I was going to end up standing out. I was going to have to give Big Boss Jim a direct answer to a question that I had been avoiding for weeks. I remember when we got to the agenda item for me, and he said my name. Kathi, we'll have 2 bottles of toiletries in the guest rooms, correct? Yes, Jim, yes, correct. 2 bottles. Great. And there's going to be that lotion and that shampoo conditioner blend. Jim, actually, no. No. As soon as I said it, 48 eyes looking at me. I think half of them had never noticed me before, and it was too late. I already said it. You see, Jim, studies indicate that 50% of business travelers are women. And honestly, women, we don't use blends. There will be 2 bottles of toiletries in every guest room, shampoo and conditioner. And the lotion, it will be available upon request at all the front desks. I get it. That sounds like a good compromise. Good work. Next. That really didn't go nearly as bad as I thought it would, did it? You know what I realized 15 years ago in that boardroom? I realized that I am courageous. And leadership requires courage, especially right now in this time. And there are 3 strategies to gain courage. Strategy number 1 is a victory file or folder. It can be paper or it can be electronic. You choose. It is a record of your successes, your accomplishments, and your achievements. Remember that email that you got from a boss or from a client, and it was glowing, talking about all of the contributions you made? Remember that email? If you've gotten one of those emails, do me a favor and put an E in the chat box. If you've gotten one of those emails, put an E in the chat. I see it. Carissa, Tina, awesome. Congratulations. Are you on LinkedIn? Put an L in the chat if you've gotten a LinkedIn recommendation or an endorsement. Put an L, great. Dr. G, I see you. Tina, Carissa, some of you doubled down, you've gotten both. Your victory file is well on its way. I remember my first victory file. I was on a 3-hour flight headed to an interview for a job that I really wanted. I spent the entire flight writing a list of every success, achievement, and accomplishment that I could remember having for the previous 10 years. It took an interview for me to take inventory. Why is it that we spend most of our time focusing on the areas that we need to improve upon? When was the last time you took inventory of your successes? Those emails and recommendations and endorsements, they're going to help build your confidence. Continue to add to your victory file. Strategy number 2, acknowledge yourself daily. Daily acknowledgements can take many different forms. You can have a mantra, you can have I am statements, you can even meditate. The point is to interrupt that autopilot voice that clicks in first thing in the morning and replace it with intentional thoughts. My preference is I am statements. They're simple. They only take a couple minutes in the morning, and it just takes a little bit of a commitment and consistency. I used I am statements about 10 years ago to replace I am ugly with I am beautiful. It was a simple daily process, and all I needed was a Post-it note on my bathroom mirror. It was simple. Now, it did take 3 years to see that beautiful woman in the mirror, but hey, I called myself ugly for 30 years, and that's a story for another time. But daily acknowledgements do work. They build your self-esteem, and as a result, they improve your self-image, how you see yourself, and that lifts your confidence. Strategy number 1, the victory file, is your inventory of your accomplishments, your achievements, and your successes. And that too is essential to building your self-confidence. And that takes us to strategy number 3, to push through the fear. 15 years ago in that boardroom, that's exactly what I did. I pushed through the fear. I knew that Jim wanted that shampoo conditioner blend, but let's be honest, who uses a blend? I don't think men use it either. I was so nervous to tell him an answer that I didn't think he wanted to hear. I had confidence though. Pushing through the fear requires a decision to act. A decision to act requires courage to speak up and to stand out. And our confidence fuels our courage. So continue to add to your victory file. Implement the daily acknowledgements and decide to act and push through your fears. The only thing I haven't figured out is how to stop that sweat from dripping down my back. We all want to be optimistic right now, but it is too early to let your guard down. The health and the survival of organizations is going to require leaders who are courageous, confident, and decisive action takers.